Somebody asked me recently, how do you deal with all the stress that you must absorb with all the plates that you have spinning? And I gotta be honest with you, I always credited myself with the ability to internalize and handle these things as they come up. But more and more lately, I have relied more heavily on my network. It's just reinforced the need to be continually building the relationships with my network, because you never know when you're gonna need someone. I tell people this all the time, right? You never know when you're gonna get laid off and you're gonna need a job. You never know when something significant in your life is happening and you need answers, or you need expertise, or just somebody that's been there, done that, gone through it, read the book, wrote the movie, and lived to tell about it. I have always prided myself on not trying to burden other people with my stuff, which has always led me down a path of sort of suffering in silence. And I woke up one day and I realized that that was just really stupid for me to tell other people that you need to build your network so that they can be there for you. And obviously that takes time and energy and focus, like I always say, but that you may need them. And if you put in the groundwork, or lay the groundwork, and you put in the heavy lifting to show that you're not going to be abusive of that, when and if you need them, they will be there. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself maybe a month and a half ago, when I had what I felt like was the world coming down around my ears, I decided to follow my own advice. And I realized that in certain circumstances that were occurring, I needed some people that have gone through hell and come back on the other side unscathed, or slightly bruised, but largely intact. And I decided to make the call. So why am I sharing this with you? Because it's a confession that even though I'm really good at telling people to do it, I'm not good at following my own advice. I'm like a heart surgeon that goes and drinks whiskey every night and smokes 10 packs of cigarettes and then wonders why they are obese and in poor health. But yet they're going to tell their patients, hey, you need to exercise. You need to give up all these negative habits. I'm that guy sometimes. And I feel like I would only be truthful and honest to this channel by sharing always the positives, not always the positives, but some of the downside, the negatives. And sometimes it isn't easy for me to admit these things. And sometimes it's hard to even acknowledge that I am not following my own advice, because the advice is good. And the suggestions I make, the strategies I give are rock solid. So then, Steve, why do you not follow it? And it's because I also understand, and I think I more deeply align and understand why other people are reluctant to do it, is because when you ask for help, especially from someone that you wasn't expecting you to reach out for help, it is uncomfortable. There's a certain amount of shame attached to it. There's a certain amount of embarrassment attached to it. There's a certain amount of, man, you look at me like I got all the answers, and now I'm coming to you and I'm actually opening the kimono and I'm showing you that I do not have all the answers. In fact, I have very few. And I need your help, your expertise, your guidance, your direction. I need your shoulder to cry on. I need your hug. I need you to show up for me, because hopefully I've showed up enough for you that you will show up for me. And for me, it's a rough go, but it has been absolutely illuminating to me about how I have been able to strategically go and seek out guidance and counsel and support and friendship from various people who have been through certain things that I'm going through right now, who have dealt with certain issues and challenges, and how just the warm embrace of their willingness to help, not only take my call or meet me for coffee or listen to me drone on and on about whatever issue might be going on a Zoom. They're there. They showed up. And I guess I'm sharing this one because I need to be completely transparent with you guys, my audience, because this stuff's hard for me sometimes too. So I know when I suggest things and you are like, I don't know if I can do it. I'm right there with you. I understand but the reward you feel when people show up and they step up to the plate to help you or to support you or engage with you, that feeling, it can't be underestimated. In fact, it is magical. And so part of why I wanted to share this is to recognize that I am still learning as much as I am teaching. And I don't think that I'm necessarily the God's gift to your advice in terms of relationships and connections. I am just someone who has some good ideas and strategies, and when implemented, they work. And believe it or not, when I actually implement them, they actually worked. And it is amazing to have the support and the feedback that I've gotten and received over the last month and a half, 2 months. It's been incredible. And then because people admire you and admire what you do, and they have a certain affinity and affection for you, it's amazing how that sort of kind of ripples out, even though just ancillary. Maybe people are talking behind my back about what's going on. I don't know. Maybe people are sharing, my dirty laundry, and I don't want them to, but if they are, they are. But I've had other people who I never would have expected to hear be like, hey, I heard you're having a rough time. I've seen some stuff on social media or whatever, or, I happen to be in the same room as X, Y, and Z person, and they mentioned that you, of all people, could use a call just to let you know that I was thinking about you. And it has been like just a huge boost to bring me out of the darkness, bring me out of some of the challenging situations that I have been navigating and trying to figure out. And, for those of you who are like, what is this guy talking about? It's like, I got, challenges with my software company and we're working through them, but it takes time and I need experts that can help me there. I'm going through this stuff with my 90-year-old dad and, family conflict and legal issues and all these other BS challenges as it relates to him and his care. And I'm doing this remotely, and how to get caregivers and how to, keep a 90-year-old from chasing everybody off because he sometimes doesn't have a filter. How to deal with the uncertainty and transition of, certain people making life choices and doing things that they've done that, whether they intended or not, adversely affects me. These are all things that are just plates that are spinning. And so when somebody asks me, like, how do you do it? I have faked it for a long time, and I have done my best to try and make it seem like I got everything under control. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I hit a wall, and I'm grateful that I had hands that reached over the wall and grabbed me and pulled me over, or pointed me where the exit was, or the door to get through it. And that is why I'm so passionate about this, because every single one of you needs this support in your life, both personally and professionally. You need people who will step up to the plate, people who will drop what they are doing to help you because you've asked. They'll return your calls, they'll respond to your messages, but more importantly, they will call you and check on you and say, hey, look, aside from all the craziness, are you okay? What can I be doing for you? What's happening? How can I help? Where can I fix this? Or what can I do to at least make some of the pain of the challenge go away? That's why I'm passionate about what this is. And that's why the network is so critical and so important. And I, in full transparency, feel a little crazy even admitting that I've had to listen to my own advice and actually go forward and actually do it. And when I did, it was like magic in a big way. And my list is so long of people that have stepped up to help me or to care for me over the last 2 months. There's too many people to name, and that makes me feel really good. That list, even though it might have been small when I started reaching out to certain people for certain help or certain advice or guidance, that list expanded and grew, and and it kind of took on a life of its own. And that support network, the resources that have been made available to me, the people who actually check in and care about me, there's no words to say how much gratitude I have for that. And I am embarrassed to say that, despite me telling you guys to do this, I did not follow my own advice for a very long time. And man, that was dumb that I didn't do that. And I will not do that again. I know I owe a lot of people a lot of gratitude and a lot of thanks. I'm going to be stepping up to the plate to make up for a lot of the proactive, good vibes and energy that people have given to me. And then I'm going to remind myself when things are down that I need to not suffer in silence. I need to leverage the power of the relationships that I have invested so heavily in to build and put them to use. I don't know if any of this makes any sense to you. I would love to hear what your comments are. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. And even if you're like, you're just a whiny little, I'm not. But sometimes it's important to remind people that, I don't have all the magic that some people think I do, that I don't have all the answers to all the tests, but I do have a tried and true proven approach. And when it pays off, it's like you feel like $1,000,000. And it seems kind of ironic that it took me this long to actually see the payoff for me. But boy, I'm glad it did. And I'm glad I experienced it. And I'm appreciative of it on every level. And I'll live to fight another day. And I will create even more bigger, broader ripples. Till next time, ripple on.